I am the doctor, this is my section. Earth is under my protection. Planet of birth is Gallifrey. I've got two hearts, your life is saved. Run into the master, raw Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not rich. 12 bodies a man. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else? Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, mustache. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride. It's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space. Oh, what's that? Exterminate.
Cyberman, the Daleks, maybe.
Would you like a jelly, baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go. A new adventure, Geronimo! I am fantastic, so are you. Best come with me, I'm Doctor Who. Oh. Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH. I am your host, your worst fears, my creativity. I'm Adam O'Sullivan.
You are my worst fear.
Oh, thank you so much. Joined as always by my co-host. We have so much time to walk in their nightmares. It's Nicchia Shoot.
Oh,
how are you?
I'm good. I have enjoyed our stroll in their nightmares.
Is that what we call this podcast?
Yeah,
Our
a
nightmares?
stroll
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my nightmares. That's what I call it. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. In
That's
studio once again, please welcome our guest. Thanks for lending a helping hand. Sorry, I had to do it. It's the Food Wanker, Beck Buckingham.
Bonjour tout le monde. Comment allez-vous?
She's going to do the whole bloody thing in French.
I always think
such
speaking in a
dog.
foreign language lends me a much-needed air of credibility.
Oh, hat too. I am French, hat too. Sorry to anyone who's French. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, if we have French listeners, amazing.
Yeah.
Le amazing.
Gerard Depardieu. I can speak French as well.
French fries, French
yeah.
dressing.
I'm sorry, my French accent.
Oh, do you mean freedom fries?
Oh.
Yeah!
My French accent comes from Monty Python Holy Grail. Your mother is an elderberry or smells like an
fart
elderberry?
in your general direction.
Her mother was an
Elderberry.
elderberry. Oh, what was it?
I don't know. That's going to annoy me
Yeah.
now.
Oh, I love it. People love listening to us trying to quote Monty Python and fail.
Your mother
so
was a
bad.
hamster and your
father
father
was
smelled like elderberries.
That's it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And scene.
Yeah.
And sing.
Yeah.
Me.
No.
Let's give it a D-whirl with Doctor Who in real life.
Woohoo.
We're going to be talking about the episode today, Can You Hear Me?
What'd you say?
What?
What?
Hey?
What?
Okay.
What?
Oh, jokes are flying far.
Oh!
Yes.
Champagne
What do you
comedy.
It's Pun Central.
What do you think about the end of Can You Hear Me when Graham opens up to the doctor about his fear that his cancer might return and she dismisses him, basically?
I don't know why everyone's up in arms about it.
Oh, okay.
The 12th Doctor had no concept. The Doctor's never been good with stuff like that. And also, I've got to say, I've never had cancer, and touch wood, I never will. So if somebody said that, I'd be like, oh, yeah, what do you say? Oh, don't worry, it's not going to happen. You don't know. I'm kind of with her. I would say, I'm just going to walk over here in my head and play with these things and hope this conversation goes away. I don't know.
Look,
Didn't bother me.
I was a little bit uncomfortable the first time I saw it because I want the doctor to be like this calming, like, even if she said, look, I don't know what to say to you right now, but all I can do is offer you my support and blah, blah, blah. But she like literally goes, I'm just going to come over here. All right, bye.
I know, but you remember the 12th Doctor? They said to Clara, who are you? She said, I'm his carer. And he said, yeah, so I don't have to. So, it's not unusual for the Doctor to be socially awkward. I don't know. What do you think, Beck?
So in my obvious extensive research of this episode, so that was one of the things that kept coming up was people's outrage about how she treated it, like treated the discussion. But I think it's just part of learning a bit more about her personality as to how she reacts. There's nothing that says she has to react in the perfect way for everybody.
Yeah, and there's nothing to say she doesn't care. It's just it's funny that the whole world can be falling apart and she's got to get, you know, Eternals into a prison and she knows exactly what she's doing and she can say what she needs to say. But when it comes to the small domestic, well, it's not small or domestic, but when it comes to that stuff, that's really she's got no control over.
Well, at the end of the day too, if the whole episode had this overarching theme about sort of mental health and mental wellness as well, that it is people's experience and circumstances all very different. Yeah. And it's not perfect, and that's kind of the irony of the episode. So it's sort of funny that so many people arced up about it.
Yeah. I feel like the Doctor, like, it is a sci-fi show, and I feel like, to me, the Doctor, and I know a lot of people think the same way, the Doctor should be, like, the voice of reason, like, they should be comforting us. But, look, you know, I'm getting used to, and it is an interesting portrayal to see the Doctor, like, oh, the Doctor actually cannot handle, how would the fourth Doctor handle something like this? He probably would have been like, oh, do you want a jelly baby? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have been able to handle it. I think the third Doctor would have had something better to say. The 10th Doctor, I think Matt Smith would have maybe struggled. I know that Peter Capaldi's Doctor would have struggled. It's just a part of the character. And God, don't we all know someone that if you said, oh, my leg's about to fall off, they'd go, oh, well, you know, one less pant to buy. You know, there are people who don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And that is, I was flummoxed. Flummoxed.
Ooh, that's a big word.
I like to be flummoxed. I was flummoxed.
And I like seeing you flummoxed.
I know.
And of course, Beck you introduced us to the word chuntering, so
I did.
Yes.
it should be interesting to see if you have any new words for us today.
Mm.
Now, the BBC has received so many complaints that they issued a response to those who complained. The response is quite a thorough one.
It's quite a what?
A
Thorough
thoroughbred.
one. It's quite a thoroughbred. The response is quite a thoroughbred.
I told you we're not drinking until the 100th episode.
The response is quite a thorough one, but it ends like this. The intention of the scene was to acknowledge how hard it can be to deal with conversations on this subject matter. When faced with these situations, people don't always have the right words to say at the right time,
Exactly.
and this can often lead to feelings of guilt. By showing the Doctor struggling to find the right words, the intention was to sympathise with all those who may have found themselves in a similar position.
Yeah, I think so too. And you can tell from her face. She's just sitting there thinking, oh, God, please have something good to say.
Yeah.
Have something, I don't know what to do. What do they want? Everyone to be perfect? No one's got the perfect thing to say.
Well, I think I generally do.
Well, you do, but I had a friend who
thanks.
was making some joke about something, said, oh, you know, it's better than a poke in the eye with a blunt stick.
Yeah.
And one of the people that she was talking to had a glass eye. And so she goes away going, oh, my God, I've upset them. And I went,
Yeah.
no.
And I think technically it's a sharp stick. Like a sharp stick would do damage. A blunt stick would just kind of irritate the retina.
And sometimes I like
I
to...
said retina.
I like to irritate my I like to irritate my retinal.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, God. Oh, we're really into it today.
Let's just give you some room.
Yeah.
Excuse me, got my stick.
Oh, God. Don't look directly in the eye.
What is she doing?
Oh, that I didn't say which eye, did I? Let's keep going.
The brown one.
Our episode today is Can You Hear Me? What?
What?
Okay.
Hey?
Can you hear me? It's
What?
the first Doctor Who episode with a question mark at the end of it.
Oh, really?
Can you hear me?
Is there a question mark at the end of that?
Ooh.
Well, if it goes up, it's a question.
That's right.
Unfortunately, apparently, as Australians, most of our sentences end up.
They
with
do, don't they?
I don't understand why people think that.
And then everyone thinks we're asking them a question.
Series 12, Episode 7, written by Chris Chibnall and Charlene Jones and directed by Emma Sullivan.
New writer.
New writer, new director.
Couple of ladies.
Ladies.
It's ladies now.
Hello, lady.
And everything sounds sleazy if you finish it with ladies.
Men.
No, ladies is worse.
Okay.
So it's when you run outside and go, my house is on fire. Ladies.
How could you do it with, my house is on fire, gentlemen?
Well, I suppose you could. I shall accept
Just sounds
that.
like you're trying to take them out.
Yeah. Gentlemen, the game is afoot.
Pip, pip.
Pip, pip, we're all going to go back into the fire. Originally aired on the BBC Saturday, February the 9th, 2020. We start with a short synopsis. The fam visits their friends and family whilst the Doctor heads to 14th century Aleppo. People are experiencing horrific nightmares, including Ryan's friend, Tahira and Yaz. Graham is having visions of someone trapped between two planets, and a scary bald man keeps turning up and sticking his fingers in people's ears.
Oh, he was disgusting. I never liked him on Game of Thrones either.
Oh, okay. Well, did you like him on Torchwood?
No.
He was a pretty bad guy on Torchwood.
He was also the voice of the Remnant. Yeah.
What does this man want, and why is the woman trapped between colliding planets? The answer may not be what the Doctor expects. Dun, dun, dun! Yeah, basically, Ian Gelder is his name, the actor who played Zelen. And when he voiced the Remnants in season 11, Chris Chibnall said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll still have you on as an actual character," because he really wanted to be a character on Doctor Who. So,
he did the creepy very, very well. I mean, I got to tell you, I was always scared of the boogeyman. If he turned up in my bedroom, even at this age, I'd be a little terrified of that face. The tats. The outfit. Why don't people ever turn up in fluoro? At least that's a little
high-vis vest.
A bogeyman in high-vis.
Yeah. 80s fluoro gear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey
MC Hammer
man,
pants.
I'm your nightmare.
Can't touch this. No.
Although the thing is, when they were describing it to the Doctor and they're like, "Yeah, it's a bald man with tattoos," I was like, every time I've seen him this episode so far, it's been in darkness, and I didn't know he had tattoos until later on when you can see it better. I was like, how did they know he had tattoos?
No.
Could be Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Bald man with tattoos.
That's true.
Come with me, you got family.
That's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I can't do a Vin Diesel. I can't do Arnold Schwarzenegger either.
He's Australian, I think, so.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Oh, not Vin Diesel. I meant...
Arnold. She meant Arnold
No,
Schwarzenegger.
no.
He's Australian.
Who's this? Diesel the singer.
Ah,
You
right.
never miss your water till it's dry, you know?
And that is true. You
That's
do
true.
never miss your water till it's dry.
Till it's dry. I
Sing it, sister.
Look, I
it's
just don't
prophetic.
form emotional attachment to water, so...
Oh, well. You will when it's dry.
No, it's the only relationship I have these days, is with water.
Gross.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about the episode,
All
shall
right,
we?
yes.
1380 Aleppo, Syria. Young street urchin Tahira is trying to keep one step ahead of the bread line, one step ahead of the sword.
I loved that. That was really good. Very, very Aladdin.
She's a street urchin.
She was good too. I liked her.
Now, the Islamic faith did have a revolutionary treatment for mental illness for the time, in that they actually tried to treat it. Instead of assuming mental illness was caused by witches and demons and locking the poor souls up and leaving them to rot, as in the more Christian countries.
Yeah. Oh, and then getting paying for people to come and look at them as part of the
poking and prodding them, and
yeah. They used to be like a tourist attraction at Bedlam. So there you go. Ooh, let's go look at the crazy people.
So so that's why the Doctor says they have a revolutionary treatment, because they didn't treat them like pariahs.
They were way ahead in a lot of their medicine and their astrology and all of that at that time. Yeah.
That night, monsters attack the hospital and take everyone except for Tahira. She tells one victim not to struggle because they like struggling, but then later, when the Doctor asks her if she's seen these creatures before, Tahira responds, "Not really."
Yeah.
So are they, does she know that they're her nightmares, or?
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, normally, I don't know. Sometimes do you always know exactly what the thing that you're scared of in your nightmare is?
I'm assuming the reason she's in the hospital is because she's paranoid and thinks her dreams are going to come out and kill people. And, this is the first night it's actually happened.
I don't know. They took her in. I thought she was kind of working as a nurse as well.
Oh,
There you go.
I know she was a patient because she goes, "Oh, you tell me this is part of my treatment. This makes me happy."
Yeah.
Stealing from people and being hunted down and probably executed.
Oh, I'm going to lose my
Haven't you
hand.
seen Aladdin? This is going to end great for me.
Is it just me, or why 1380 in Aleppo?
I was going to say, why are we in Syria?
Random, and if the only connection is how they treated people with mental illness, I would have thought there'd be more current reference, more interesting reference. It just seemed I was waiting for the reason they were there to come back around.
Yeah, and the only thing I could see was that this was the either she was the first person he'd visited and created this monster from her dreams. That's how I was sort of seeing it. And so it was still fun to come back and I mean, that's what they do. They're the Eternals. They just fuck with people.
They just fur.
As a food wanker, I'll also let you know that Aleppo pepper is actually a delightful spicy pepper.
Gesundheit.
Aleppo
pepper.
Nigella Lawson, Aleppo pepper, Turkish eggs, yum yum.
Is it strong, bitey, spicy, or just peppery?
It's all of those things, Nicchia.
I just love to say...
Not unlike you.
just love to say the word peppery.
I like to say Aleppo.
Why is it called
Aleppo.
Aleppo pepper and not Aleppo? Oh, I see. I get
Because,
it. I get it now. I get
you hear it?
Aleppo,
Yeah.
I'll have
Would you
some
like
more.
some Aleppo? No, I would not.
Not for me,
No,
thanks.
thank
No,
you.
I would not
Yeah,
like
that's
Aleppo.
right. They show, that's the only time they show Zelen going to a different time period to affect someone. Every other time it's like present day Sheffield.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand him going to the people who are Yaz and Ryan's friend because he's trying to get the doctor's attention. I don't know. Maybe he just knew she'd be sitting there waiting for her companions. I mean,
Well, the writer had a fever dream and went, I know, 1380 Aleppo. This'll grab him by the short and curlies.
Yeah, I have no idea. But anyway, I just went with the story.
Well, it's partly a Chris Chibnall episode, so it has to be 3 separate locations.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Aleppo, Sheffield, Deep Space.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam.
Bam, bam, bam.
As
bam,
long
bam.
as Sheffield's in there at least once.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's where they're all from.
In present-day Sheffield, the Doctor drops off Ryan, Graham, and Yaz to hang out with their mates. 2 episodes after telling us the Doctor spends all her spare time searching for the Master, suddenly she feels lost without her fam. She's like, what am I going to do?
I kind of like that, but I'll just jump forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, imagine if you could do that. That'd be quite good.
Hey, I'm here. This is kind of stalkery. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you guys
I'm
ready
here.
to join me again?
How was it?
Yeah.
How was it?
Yaz gets home to see her sister Sonia. The BBC can't afford an extra cameo, so her parents are out for the night.
We didn't want them.
Aw, they're lovely.
They are lovely, but I think this was a story about her
definitely,
and her sister. And sometimes when you've got too many people, Yaz gets lost in it.
And this was a sort of a Yaz-heavy episode.
It was a good, interesting background into where Yaz has been. And they did talk about in the Witch one. I was going to say The
Witchfinders.
Witcher now because I've been watching it. The
Oh,
Witchfinder.
yeah, there's bloody several hours of my life I'll never get back.
Me either, but I did enjoy it. Oh, really?
Oh.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, we'll talk about that on our Witcher podcast.
But
Awesome.
but she does talk about being bullied at school.
Yeah.
So
She has mentioned,
I wondered if that was going to come back at some point. So yeah.
in a big way too.
Yeah, really good.
Mm.
Really good.
Yeah, so Yaz and Sonia have an anniversary dinner for her running away.
I think her coming home.
Or her realising her basically, I don't know, starting to deal with those feelings.
Yeah, I think so. It's like a new life.
And I assume her parents don't know, because otherwise they would have been there as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So maybe that's it.
Because they say later on that Yaz's sister, Sonia, rang the police. So
Yeah.
maybe her parents
Don't know, yeah.
never knew that she ran away or...
Yeah, and it's good because you see the sisters' relationship as being quite combative.
Yeah.
So it is nice to see that there's always something a bit deeper in that sort of relationship with your brothers and sisters.
I wonder if Yaz has ever seen the end of a movie, because apparently she just falls asleep halfway through.
Well, that's Dave.
She was probably watching The Witcher.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much every male that I
I
know.
liked The Witcher. Oh, look.
Oh dear, what did you not like about The Witcher? I haven't seen it, so...
Oh, mighty. It was just...
Boring.
Ugh. Boring. Boring is a word.
The food wasn't good enough.
Oh, they were... Did not push my food wanker buttons. It was just a lot of people not bathing and...
Well, there was a lot of not bathing and a lot of kissing people who hadn't bathed but had been covered in monster guts. I did find that a little gross. But I
I
have
was
to
going to
say...
say, there's a famous scene in The
I was
Witcher
riveted.
where Geralt is in a bath, so I thought,
Yeah, that'll be the only
That's
one.
the only bath.
I have to say I was quite riveted, so there you go. There you
Riveted.
Riveted.
Oh.
I toss a coin to your Witcher. That's what I call your poon.
go. Ooh.
I didn't realise she had one.
I just think Henry
full of
with
magic,
his shirt
so-
off is enough for me most
There
of
you
the
go.
time.
Coming
Don't
soon.
speak,
the new,
Henry. don't speak.
The new Henry Cavill movie, Henry Cavill with his shirt off for
I'm-
2 hours.
I'm in it.
Featuring supporting actor Terry Crews.
Oh.
Stunt double.
Support Nicchia. Does he need oiling up again? I'm in there. Get off the camera.
Ryan turns up as his mate Thibault's flat. How can everyone on TV afford to live by themselves, especially when we don't see them go to work?
Yeah, well, and also Thibault's obviously going through a very
He talks
dark
about how he
period.
doesn't have a connection with anyone. Well, maybe get a job.
Well, yeah, but I think if you've gotten to that point where you're agoraphobic or you're like that, you can't work. So he could have lost his job.
It's a huge apartment too.
It is.
Jesus. I wish I could get an apartment that size
Maybe
here
it's
in Brisbane.
in the shitty part of
Maybe.
Sheffield. Yeah.
Still, it's huge.
Isn't all of Sheffield shitty?
Oh, shots fired!
Right.
We will never be invited to get the key to the city of Sheffield.
Oh
at this
my
rate.
God, I would like to apologise to everybody in Sheffield.
I am simply a guest, and the thoughts of the guest are not those of the makers of this
No,
podcast.
exactly.
So I
I
do deeply
dear.
apologise.
Oh my God.
If you want to invite us for your podcasting festival, we would love it. I don't know.
We won't bring back.
No, they won't. I wouldn't come. Places are pigsty.
Oh God, shut up! Now, I assume Ryan's probably been fired from his factory job.
Oh, I'd say so. Yeah. Well, he had the detached retina and what are all the
He had a
other
what?
injuries?
What was
he's had.
detached?
His retinal. No, his retina. So a couple of episodes ago, they say, "Oh, we haven't seen you." And instead of saying I've been travelling to start with, he goes, "Oh yeah, no, he was in hospital. He had a hernia, a detached retina, and
What, did he bungee jumped or something? How does all
No,
of that
no, he
snap
just-
out of place?
he
The
just-
hernia?
he just made it up."
Oh, okay.
But then after 3 massive illnesses, he's like, I'm just travelling now.
Yeah,
I can't be fucked doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Just travelling.
I worked out how to pop my retina back in.
Yeah, it's back in place, and all of the stuff in my lunchbox, that's all back where it should be.
I don't understand why that guy went from playing basketball with their friends to being agoraphobic so quickly.
Well, yeah, but that's
We don't know
mental
how
health.
long it's been.
Yeah.
And also, it could be daily. Like
Yeah.
that day, he just felt really good, and okay, I'm going to go play basketball with my friends. And then the very next day, he could have been just like, I'm going to stay inside for a week.
I mean, as a former recluse, I don't feel like that's how it works, but okay.
Well, I would say that everybody's is different.
Mm.
So a lot of people can do it and hold down a job and be, top of the world, and then suddenly hit the ground, or maybe it's the first time you ever had it, and it is a shock, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a cautionary tale about basketball.
Yes.
That it can
bring on
drive
depression.
you down that track.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, it certainly depresses
And
me.
being an introverted heart, I can tell you that you have days where you're like, sure, I'll totally come out with you on Friday night and see this blah, blah, blah. And then a week later, you're like, fuck, I wish I didn't have to go and do this thing. I just want to stay at home. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anyone.
I hate that moment in your life when you go, oh, God, I wonder how you get into a coma.
Yeah.
Because then everyone would just leave you alone.
And you get so much sleep.
But of course no one would come in and go, what do you think of this? What do you think of... She's in a coma. Fuck off. Leave her alone.
You could just
No
close your eyes,
decisions.
and that would be a start.
Oh, okay.
Like if I walked in and you had your eyes closed, I'd go, shit.
You would not go.
Nicchia's in a coma.
She's in a coma. You'd go, wake up.
Or I go through phases where it's like, just run away, start a new life somewhere. And then it's like, it'd be too annoying because it'd be fucking people trying to find me. Jesus Christ.
Well, I think you overestimate yourself, sweetie.
Would you have like your backpack and your teddy bear and some snacks?
Little blankie.
Yeah.
Blankie.
Your
yeah.
blankie. Some water, of course, because we know your water fetish.
Water everywhere. So let's all have a drink.
I'm always
What were you
looking
gonna
for
say?
somewhere to run away to.
What were you going to say?
I said my teddy is my passport. No,
Yeah.
That's not what you were going to
fake
say.
passport. I was going to say it was the guy who's going to make me a fake passport.
You're going to put that in your backpack,
Hello,
are you?
Teddy.
Thibault has not been doing well and is having nightmares, so he asked Ryan to stay over. Graham's playing poker with his mates, Gabriel, a fellow bus driver last seen in The Woman Who Fell to Earth, and Fred, a new character who I assume is probably also a bus driver. They all
Yeah,
are.
I hadn't worked out Fred's stuff to this, but anyway.
Could be an exotic dancer.
He didn't look like one, but then, you can never
Do
tell.
I look like one, Nicchia?
Well, that's true, but you don't make a lot of
Yes.
money at it.
Oh, thank you,
Oh.
Alan. Thank you.
Thank
Question
you.
mark? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Graham says travelling stops him getting stuck in the past, so obviously the next scene is the Doctor in 1380 Aleppo.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps talking to her companions who aren't there.
I do love that. I love her being all clever and then, there's no one there. I always remember that thing in Matt Smith's, one of his episodes. They're all up there whispering, Rory and River and Amy, and he's down there doing some stuff, and he sticks his head up and he goes, I'm doing something clever down here. What is the use of you if you are not here to admire it? And I do like that. So, yeah, she keeps forgetting she hasn't got her companion.
She keeps showing off for them.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this. I know all this stuff. Oh, fuck, there's no one here.
Yeah, there's no one here. I hate that.
I feel like that's what you would be like if you didn't have a podcast team.
Oh, I do it. I don't care if anyone can see it or not. I just do it anyway.
Yeah.
You just do it for your own
Just wander
entertainment.
around talking to yourself.
The Doctor finds Tahira, the only survivor of the monsters, and grabs a few hairs to analyse.
Yeah.
And the big old... They kind of look like Yetis. I thought, we got Yetis.
Yeah, but how does something that doesn't exist leave hair?
You're
I'm
asking me as though
looking
I've
at
got
you.
the answer to that.
It felt like a real, philosophical question.
All right.
I
Well,
need to know.
So, fellow philosophers, how does something that doesn't exist leave hair?
Leave hair. I want you to tell me
Snaps.
Let's talk about
Let's
our
talk it through.
feelings, shall we?
That's not.
now. I'm looking for enlightenment here.
How do these feelings that I know exist but don't exist affect me so much?
Grow hair.
and then leave it on a wall.
Yes, I'm looking at you because I expect you to have all the answers.
Was it back hair? Was it pubic hair?
Ah.
Was it head hair? Was it someone else's hair?
I think it was someone else's hair.
Could have
Someone
been.
screaming and running from it left hair.
Well, it came from like their claw marks on the wall, so it could be somebody else's hair.
Weren't
Exactly.
they spooky claws too?
Oh, yeah. I didn't
Oh, when
like
it wraps around her face?
Oh, yeah, did not like that. Bleh.
Mm.
That and detachable fingers. Bleh.
Oh, yes. That's
Yeah.
probably the
I'm looking
grossest
forward to
thing.
getting into that.
Oh,
While stealing cards, Graham has visions of a black woman who isn't Grace. Ooh,
I
saucy.
know.
He also sees two planets about to collide and an alien asking Graham to come and help her.
And she's crying.
At how beautiful the nightmares are. Oh, they're so beautiful.
She's an actress, isn't she?
Yes.
With you. Oh, it
She's an
hurts.
actress playing an actress.
Oh.
Playing a god.
I thought she was such a and not just beautiful looking, but just
Ethereal.
ethereal. She looked like a god. She was quite.
Whereas the other guy just looked like a guy you'd see at the bus stop.
Yeah, I kept thinking, what's she doing with him? Can't she do any better? You know?
Oh, the bald tattooed guy.
Yeah, aren't
Yeah.
there Eternals that are
Bad boy syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Well, he says
Well,
he can
they're all
change his
bad
form to
boys.
anything, and he's like, but I like this form.
Yeah, really? Have you
Like,
looked in
yeah.
the mirror?
Have you seen Chris Hemsworth? Maybe go with that
Yeah,
form, you know?
yeah.
Ooh,
Although-
actually, I like this form much better.
Not very scary though, is it? When you're lying in bed and someone who looks like Chris Hemsworth
Oh,
comes
fuck,
in,
it's
you're
Thor!
like, "Woohoo, yeah, and you get your gear off.
I shouldn't have picked a form from this planet. That night, Yaz is dreaming about a long country road and a police officer staring at Sonia behind Yaz. Now, what did you think?
I didn't know it was Sonia to start with.
No, neither did I.
I thought they had like a sister who might have
Yeah.
committed suicide or died. Or
I thought it was like because of the road. I thought it was a car crash.
I was waiting
and
for a
one of
car.
one of their friends had died. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Well, she was near water, and then I thought, maybe there's been a death, and I was a bit lost.
Because who has an anniversary dinner about when their sister comes back home from running away? Like, that's just weird. I thought it was a death too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of got the impression that this was less that Yaz was running away and more about maybe Yaz was thinking of
hurting herself.
finishing the
And
whole
I
thing.
think they're not. It's like an anniversary dinner of you came back.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not obviously not celebrating her leaving, but they're celebrating you came back.
And you didn't.
And we
didn't harm
we fixed
yourself.
it. We made.
Yeah.
We started working towards fixing it.
Yeah.
So.
Makes you wonder what they do for like birthdays and Christmas in that family.
Are they
If they're having a bang up dinner for you coming home from that circumstance, what's a birthday look like? Just bloody skywriting and blimps and ponies and
balloon
face painting.
rides
I feel like
and-
if that was me, my brothers wouldn't even notice I was gone.
Oh, Jesus.
They go, Rachel, you're back. It's Rebecca.
See, you get it. You get it. The whole Rachel dilemma. Bane of my fucking existence.
Yeah, Rachel Cunningham. No, it's actually Rebecca Buckingham.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You get that one, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
witness protection name, Rachel Cunningham.
Oh, that's right.
Good. Tell it out on the podcast. So if you ever go into witness
Or
protection.
Rhonda Birmingham.
Oh,
So
I
mixing
do
it up.
like that.
Hello there, Dal. It's Rhonda here.
Rhonda for an older lady, Rachel for just a bit younger.
I do get Malika or Nikita.
Neither of those are real words.
Nikita.
Nikita is a real word.
Makita.
No,
Makita,
not
like a
Makita.
chainsaw.
No, Malika or Nikita.
Malika.
Yeah, people call me Malika.
That sounds like a Greek isle.
It does. Make it with Malika.
What's wrong with your bucket, Malika?
Malika bucket.
There's a hole in it.
Hey, Malika the bucket. So we've insulted French and Italy.
And Italy and Sheffield.
Oh, was that an Italian accent?
I'm not apologising for the Italian quips, though.
After visiting Yaz, the creepy bald man visits Tibbo, where he detaches his fingers and shoots one into Tibbo's ear, which is probably the creepiest thing about the whole fucking episode.
Oh, those fingers in your ear. I mean,
Where are those fingers been?
well, you don't know. Does he
No.
wash his hands? I mean, you
And
know.
the way it like hovers above his ear and then like shoots in, I was like, oh no!
Not even the right way either.
No, well, that plays into it doesn't matter where his hands have been because it's the stump
That's
end,
true.
not the pointy end.
Ugh.
Could have been up his snout or in his dot or God knows where. Although I think if you're a malevolent sort of god, you're not like, oh, I've just been to the toilet. I've just got to wash my hands, guys, and then I'll be out.
And you probably don't.
You don't go to the toilet.
No,
I guess.
you don't.
You probably go to the toilet in the cosmos.
Or just
Yeah.
in your robe.
Yeah.
You're just like doing it in your robe.
Astral project your piss into
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, the fingers were horrible. I hate people sticking their fingers in my ear at the best
What happens
of
if
times.
your biggest nightmare is being ear fingered by that guy?
Oh.
You're like, so your finger goes in and then you wake up, you're like, oh God, why is it still happening?
It just kind of sounds rude, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ear fingered. Anything with fingered in it just sounds
Hashtag
disgusting.
ear fingered.
Oh.
Look, if that's your kink, whatever two consenting adults do between each other, that's fine.
You don't even need two consenting adults for that one.
Well, you could do it
Thankfully.
yourself, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah, okay. I get what you mean. Okay, right.
I
Yeah,
prefer
self-satisfaction.
I prefer to call it digital penetration.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Ryan is woken up by the ear fingering and chases
Digital penetration.
and chases off the bald man, but he takes Tibbo
That
as
would
well.
wake me too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know we knew each other so well, Mr. Zellen.
Wait, I'm
So-
sorry. My brain's going in very
I
weird
have like
places.
the word moist.
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 People that miss a belt loop
Oh, yes,
and
you don't
people
like
touching my ears with fingers are all things that just make my fur stand on end. And so when that
that.
finger
I know.
hurtled
I think you should
into
have
that
shaved
ear,
before you got here, by the way.
I did. You just can't see where.
Oh, really? I was just gonna
People
say.
that miss a belt loop.
It's
Yeah.
just a thing. Like
What?
if I see, and it's generally old blokes, you'll be standing at the supermarket and they've missed their belt going through, they've missed a belt loop.
Yeah.
And I just want to
I
say,
see,
oh, for
right.
fuck's sake, have some
All right,
some
let me
bloody
dress you.
decency, you stupid man.
Why did I think like the actual hole where you put the
Yeah,
belt
that's what I thought
thing,
too, yeah.
the pin in?
Oh, that's worse. That now you're gadding
That-
about in a pair of pants with that's
a belt.
down a loop.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, we're not animals.
No, mine is if I see anyone with the tag coming
I was
out
gonna say,
of the
yeah.
back of their shirt,
I feel like trying to push it down.
just want to do that. But it's somebody with their dress, pants, whatever, tucked up their ass. Oh, I'm not
Oh, I
touching
laugh
that.
and laugh.
and laugh.
I did that through the Brisbane airport once, just a skirt tucked in my undies, in a G-string no less, when I was young and fabulous, and I walked the entire length of the domestic airport with an
And you
ass
had
cheek.
no idea why they upgraded you to first
I had
class.
no idea, and
The
everybody
pilot wanted to meet you.
waited till I'd got to the very end, and then a nice old man came up and said, "Excuse me, sweetheart, your dress is tucked up." And I thought, you fuckers have let me walk the entire length of this.
And that's what you said. You jumped up on a chair and you went, "You fuckers!"
I did. I did.
That
Outraged.
that is pretty awful.
Since that day, I wear 3 skirts, just to be
Yeah.
sure.
And 3 jeans.
Yeah.
All
Three
tucked into
Gs.
your underwear.
Yep.
I will say the first time I ever wore a G-string, I was younger. I thought, God, these are uncomfortable. Anyway, I got it off and realised I was wearing it. I was wearing it
Round the wrong way.
well, not backwards, but just my legs in the right.
I've done that. I've popped my legs in the wrong holes.
You can't tell with that shit, really.
What about you, Adam? When was the first time you wore a G-string?
Well, I tell you what, I've removed a couple of G-strings in my time, that's for sure.
Oh, rubbish. What?
of the-
Shoplifting?
During my period retuning guitars. Yeah. It was good fun.
Off the shop mannequins.
So we're going to have to ask you to leave.
I'm just practicing in case
I'm
I
just
get
seeing
to
if there's
do it.
actually one up there.
Stop putting your teeth on the underwear, sir.
I just want to see when he gets it off yelling out, this one has no vagina.
It's just a mound.
I think that guy's here again. I just heard someone yell out, this one has no vagina.
God. What's, sweetheart? What's happening in there?
Mom! I want my own doll.
With a vagina.
What a mannequin for my birthday.
His birthday's next week.
Fuck, it'll do.
Ladies, I know what we're doing.
Yes.
Putting our cash together.
Do we blow it up beforehand or let him
No,
do
he
it?
likes-
I think
He likes doing it
It's
himself.
more special if I blow them up myself.
No, it's
Yeah.
going to be fraught with danger if it's inflatable. We all know that. We need one of those solid ones.
Fill it with helium.
Oh.
And he comes out.
You can pretend you're doing it in space. I'm
What the
sorry.
fuck is going on?
Which is what the mannequin will say.
No, it's very hard to speak when you look so surprised all the time.
Yeah, well, when I start doing my podcast with my fake girlfriend, okay?
What do you think, Sally? Oh, you're doing great.
I could do the whole podcast myself. What do you think, Adam? Yeah, I think it's really great, Adam. Oh, you're so sexy. I love you.
Oh,
Oh my God, thank you so much.
flawless impersonation of a woman.
Nicchia's gone.
He is crying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've still got pictures of you. It's manic. I'm trying to get.
Well, if there's one way to get Nicchia crying from laughing, it's to think about
Fill
how
a sex
fucking
doll with-
lonely I am.
Fill a sex doll with helium.
Oh, I don't mean it that way.
Oh, loneliness is fun.
Oh my god.
No, I'm sorry.
She's not.
Okay, and
It's
so
so insincere when someone's like,
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't wait till my funeral when Nicchia just laughs her fucking guts out.
oh,
So, and now you know why I wasn't offended by the doctor dealing with Graham. Because I'm just not good with that.
she's
stuff
uncomfortable
sometimes.
around feelings.
Not if they're amusing at the same time. It's hard. Oh, okay. I'll stop crying now.
All right. Do you go on?
Okay, sure. Oh, fantastic. We don't want to sit here and pick out my real doll, do we? Or,
I'm just Googling
Hang on,
it as
yeah.
we speak. I've got something we can put on the doll too when we buy it.
select...
What?
Because, every time I always go to eBay, before I come and do an episode, I go to eBay, I see what's happening that we might be
okay.
interested in. And at the moment, you can buy face masks for the 4 characters, $7.03 each, or all 4 for $21.
Oh my God.
So you could make the beast with 2 backs, with Ryan, with Yasmin, with Graham, or with the doctor.
All 4 on the one
All
head.
4 on the one head, and just roll that dolly around.
Spin it around.
Spin me, baby.
All right,
God, it's going to be a happy birthday.
welcome to the last episode of the podcast.
You say that every time
I know. I wonder why.
Oh, there's so much estrogen in the room.
Oh, I get it now. This is what it's like when we're recording with Doors, and you're
That's
constantly
right.
complaining.
Hello,
Right.
Doors. Hello.
What, that he's got too much estrogen?
No, he's got too much testosterone.
yes.
Oh, he does not.
Oh, he does.
He does.
He does. He
and
and
Nick
What
Carr.
a guy!
He and Nick Carr.
Oh my god. Can we have them on an episode together?
Oh, God.
I think the audience
You'd
would
get
get pregnant.
pregnant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
I'd get pregnant. And I don't have a womb.
That's true, she doesn't.
I'd get pregnant.
And you
and
don't
you
have a womb.
certainly don't
And I've
have a
only
womb.
seen the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Junior.
No. Was that a question? It ended
Junior.
high.
I'm having a baby. The fam all call the doctor, who does a call merge and tells them she'll come to them. In the next scene, we see Ryan, Graham, and Yaz sitting down in the TARDIS, and the doctor introduces them to Tahira. So does that mean the doctor landed the TARDIS, picked each one of them up one by one and then had them sit there without introducing them?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's the Doctor. She's just going to pick them up. I love the fact that a lot of the times in the Doctor Who stories, particularly the classics, they kind of went to one place and then never went near the TARDIS again until the end. And I love the fact that the TARDIS is, popping here and popping there, because I would be a bit nervous. They said, I'll pop back. I go, I know that fucking TARDIS. You're not ever going to see me again, are you? It's going to end up somewhere.
I ask a TARDIS-related question.
You may.
There's a giant phallic-shaped light thing that just pulses up and down in the middle.
Always has been, yeah.
Mesmerising, of course. Very...
Very phallic.
Yeah. What is it?
It's a crystal made by Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Goop.
Yeah.
A Goop
It's from
crystal.
Goop.
Yeah.
Is it made of vegetables?
Yes.
Sure, and it also smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina.
Mm. Oh, no, I think it smells like
Does that smell like
flowers, and I don't want to upset anyone else. Lavender oil and
rabbits
And goop, whatever that smells like.
And yeah,
And a Netflix special.
it's always been there.
Oh my god, I saw that the other day.
It's the power console, and so when it's going
certainly is, baby.
when it's going up and down, it means they're moving.
When it's going up and down, ain't again.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Beck.
Of course, you
Judy
know,
bird.
if it was designed by a woman, there'd be two of them going up.
Well, there'd
and
be a
down.
couple of big buttons on either side,
Yeah,
wouldn't
go
there?
Beep beep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Graham and Ryan could never be able to find them to try to get it to
No.
go.
That is true.
That's exactly right.
That's probably why the Doctor hasn't been able to fly the TARDIS properly in the past, because there's just so many buttons and knobs to twist and turn.
She's just like, Yaz, get the fuck over here and help me find it.
Yeah.
Geez, that screwdriver got a working out in this episode, didn't it? I've never seen so much screwdriver action.
Yeah, I didn't like the
Fingers and screwdrivers.
Oh,
That's the name of this
everywhere.
episode.
There's a bit too much screwdriver for me, just waving it around like a magic wand.
The TARDIS indicates that Tahira's monsters don't exist, and the Doctor, who has been told about the weird dreams of her companions and has experienced things that induce, affect, and feed on dreams and nightmares, doesn't believe it.
Well-
Ooh, where could these monsters have come from? Ooh, tell us again about your weird dreams, guys.
I know, but she always thinks there's a scientific explanation for everything. So, even when face to face with what I would pretty much have called Satan, the 10th Doctor didn't believe in him.
Yeah.
And he looked like what I
But I
think
love the
Satan
scientific
would look like.
explanation for this episode is like, no, they're from another dimension, so
Yeah.
they can do whatever the fuck they like.
Well, but the Eternals...
Adam was just doing Scooby-Doo eyes then when he was asking that question.
Ruby, Ruby,
It was very unsettling.
Rose rapping for a ruby rat.
Scooby-Doo eyes.
I just want to know, when you said that with your Scooby-Doo eyes, were you being passive-aggressive about this episode of Doctor Who?
Why don't you go rock yourself?
It undermines your credibility.
It does. So what do you know about the Eternals?
What do I know about the Eternals?
Yeah.
I know that the Eternals is a Marvel movie coming out that has Angelina Jolie in it.
No, so the
Holy.
Eternals have been in Doctor Who before,
Ooh.
and they were in the fifth Doctor, Peter Davidson. One of them took a bit of a shine to Tegan, but they live forever. They get bored. They take people from their lives all over time whenever they like and use them to do whatever they like. So they were having a space race, and the winner would get enlightenment. And anyway, they all killed each other, and the Guardians were there, and blah,
Jesus.
blah. But they are... I don't know if anyone's ever watched Star Trek with Q.
No.
You know, the
I
character
see you
Q?
saying words and I don't understand any of those words.
Anyway, so they've been in it before. They've been
Does
in...
Q have something to do with Will Wheaton's character?
No.
Oh, okay.
James Bond?
No. Star Trek Next Gen.
No, Will Wheaton was a character on Next Gen.
Yes. But Q is an Eternal who would pop in and
okay.
out to make things up. So they have been in it before. They've been in... The Celestial Toy Maker was in the first Doctor's thing. So he was an Eternal. And they just...
Played by Michael Goff. Michael
Yes.
Gough, yeah.
So they live for ever and ever and ever and ever, and they get bored, so they play around with lesser species like us. You know how you see a moth?
Like how we keep puppies and kittens.
Yeah, but you know how you see a moth and you think, oh, I want to get this moth outside because it's like, and they leave crap everywhere as they...
This is an odd analogy,
No.
but I'm going to stick with you.
Stick with it. And this,
Yes, we've all been
So
there,
relatable.
Nicchia.
It's
Yeah.
so
Oh
relatable.
my God, moths, am
like
I
a
right?
moth. I was just
And
thinking, like,
moth-
fuck moths,
the
eh?
moth is going to live, 5 days? right?
Mm-hmm.
I could-
I know. We all know how long moths live
Yes,
for.
yes.
We're
We're
all
not
specialties
don't
of moths.
womansplain to me the bloody life cycle of a moth.
And I think to myself, I could try and catch this moth and put it outside.
God, your life. What's happened?
Or I could kill it because it's only going to live 5
Jesus
days.
Christ.
Wow,
That went
that's
dark.
quite a selection, isn't it? I could let it go or I could kill it.
But do you know how hard it is to catch a moth? It's very difficult.
It's bloody
I
easy,
I
you
love
clown,
that.
because they're fat and they're slow.
No, the teeny tiny ones.
I love that Netflix special, How to Catch a Moth.
Yeah, that's right. And so, because it's only going to live a week, I think, who's
Put it
going
out
to
to
care?
misery.
Wow,
Smoosh.
what is happening to you?
Nicchia's gone again.
I know.
No time to separate.
I am not.
I almost want to stick around here till tonight.
And then I look
until a
down
few
at my
moths.
moth empire and I say, who will please me today?
Who among you shall I end now?
Which will be the sacrifice to me, Nicchia, moth god?
I would just like to say I tried for at least half an hour to catch it.
Oh, we're
and
still
then I
talking
killed
about
it.
the moth.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
okay. Yep.
So
Right.
anyway, this moth
And her name was?
sexually attracted to the light in my bathroom, sitting on my
Who
toothbrush.
isn't?
Well,
Have you seen the light in your bathroom?
I know,
It's pretty
I know.
fucking
I'm just-
sexy.
It has made me hot many times.
And if
No.
when I sit on your toothbrush, it
Oh.
certainly turns me on.
Yeah, well, it's much better than the Phillips head you whacked on
Oh,
last time.
Jesus.
Right, let's keep going.
The Doctor connects the telepathic circuits of the TARDIS to Graham's head to take them to where he saw the trapped lady, but it leads to a spaceship in deep space, distant future.
And it's going to hurt. No, well, probably. Yeah, maybe a bit.
Whereas,
I like that.
I can't wait to see what you say to this line. Whereas previously the telepathic interface of the TARDIS was a bunch of gooey slits in the TARDIS console, now they have to be stuck to Graham's head.
They were an awesome
Slits
band.
stuck
The
to
gooey
Graham's
slits.
I
Slits. head.
loved the
Yeah.
gooey splits. So pogo anal and the gooey
Slits
splits.
stuck to-
Slits.
No, when it was Peter Capaldi's, you used to have to stick your
you'd
hands
stick
in.
your
and
hands
be
in
like,
that gel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but now you have to stick it to Graham's head.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the new console, she just got rid of that because it was a bit too, it felt like a saline boob implant or something. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
don't know what
I
they
don't
feel
think
like.
me and you need to worry about that, do we?
No, but
no.
I don't know what they feel like. But I imagine they feel kind of like,
Oi, what about me? I'm not getting boob implants anytime soon, thank you very much.
no, well,
I
that's true.
don't need them.
Yeah.
Aw.
I'll just keep eating.
Beck had hers, but she had them on the back. You had them
Back
removed.
boobs.
Yeah,
I
back
did. I
boobs.
did.
How many times do we have to
I
mention
like
back boobs?
back boobs and I cannot lie.
Yeah, baby
Your
got
brother
back.
brothers can
Yeah,
do
how many
that.
times are we going to mention back boobs on
Maybe
this?
got
As many times
back
as it
boobs.
takes for them to catch on, baby.
Yeah.
Now I've just got that song that Adam sings in my head.
Baby got
God.
back boobs.
Yeah.
No.
I got big back boobs and I cannot lie.
The ship's screens activate, showing two planets that are on the verge of colliding with each other. The Doctor plays the ship controls like a harp to zoom in, and they can see a prison ball holding the woman that Graham saw.
I did like the harp, the
Yeah.
way they zoom in. I thought that was kind
She's
of
very
cute.
forceful with the harp. She's like, nah.
Well, you gotta be. You gotta be. You know.
That's right. That's
You gotta
right.
show that harp who's boss.
Who did you think that was trapped between the planets?
Oh, I got sucked in. I thought, oh, they need to rescue her.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did too. What about you?
Yeah.
Uh,
They drew me into their
Suckers.
silken web.
I know, I know.
Because she had blonde hair. Blonde people are generally good people.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
And she was beautiful and beautiful people.
Always
And we
good.
know-
Nicchia,
No,
care to comment?
No, I wouldn't trust a blonde. Ever.
And we know
No.
Zelen is evil because
Or
he's,
me,
he's
anyway.
an ugly old man with tattoos on his head.
Yeah. And she had a tear. She looked
Mm.
sad.
Only good people can be sad.
I know.
True that.
True that.
True dat.
Dat.
Yeah.
Dat. David will break up with you if you say dat. You know that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry, David.
Of all the things he could have broken up with Adam for.
yeah. Not the rimming.
Not the
but dat.
rimming, not the
No,
rimming.
that's
Oh,
the
for
straw that
fuck's
breaks
sake.
that camel's
He keeps
back.
asking for it. He's asked for it for Valentine's Day.
And you said dat not going to happen. Oh, we are breaking up.
I said, that is going to happen. And he said, no, I'm sorry. I'm not interested anymore. Yaz finds a section covered in fingers, which is a phrase I can't believe I just had to say.
They were hideous. Were they dying fingers? Silver fingers?
How
What
many
were they?
fingers has this guy got?
Well, I
Fucking-
mean, he keeps growing them back.
I love what you've done to the wall. Yeah, that's my fingers. Oh, good,
More than the
good,
people
good.
in Logan can count.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what
Three.
What else detaches from this bald guy? Am I right?
Oh, I don't want that shooting into my ear.
No, me.
Goodness.
Oh,
They're wearing
God,
a
it's giving me nightmares. It's giving me
wearing a
nightmares.
snug pair
Is
of
he like a
pants.
gecko or something?
Yeah.
It just falls off and then regrows.
Oh.
He just-
I just can't believe out of all the Eternals out there, because in the episode I saw there were many, she picks him to hang out with. I don't know. I'm still getting over it.
Oh, so I'm quite partial to a bald gent with facial tattoos.
Really?
I am.
Oh, I'm
Ew.
sorry.
Oh, I see you've frequented Redcliffe, have you?
Yeah.
Ooh. To the people of Redcliffe, I do apologise for
I
what I
don't.
just
We
said.
don't.
It's not
No,
as
we
shit
don't.
as
We don't.
Sheffield.
Redcliffe, the only thing that is well known about it is, the Bee Gees were here for a bit.
Yeah, and when they'd come back from school, people throw rocks at them. So it's not really the best best.
No,
Redcliffe
I love
story.
as there's this BG Way in Redcliffe, and
Yeah.
there's a bronze statue of the Bee Gees when they were kids, and they got the last remaining BG to help open it. And I can imagine that being like, hey, do you want to come to Redcliffe
Yeah.
and open up a statue of you and your dead brothers?
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't I?
Oh.
Wouldn't I?
Woo.
Plot twist, he killed his brother.
He leans into the statue and he's like, you fuckers, I'm the last one alive.
I win.
I'm the last G.
Who's staying alive now?
And C.
And see.
That was good.
Tahira has found a chamber where the captives are being held, all with fingers in their ears. Ryan, Yaz, and Graham join Tahira in facing off against old Freakhands Bald Man.
Yes. So what? And the rest were in the TARDIS jacuzzi.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Well, they're still held up at this point.
That's right. Oh, that's right. I thought we'd gotten to the part where everyone was free.
Unfortunately, Zelen gets those Freakhands to work, fingering our main character's ear holes.
Oh.
That's probably why they have to ask, can you hear me? No, I can't.
So
I've
go
got
fingers in my ear.
ears.
Ryan's having nightmares of the drags. Jeez, aren't we all having nightmares about Orphan 55?
Oh. Yes. Yes. I'm still having. Did you watch that one?
No.
Oh,
Good,
so
good.
that's what that was.
The
Yeah.
worst
Ah.
ever Doctor Who episode.
Oh, I wouldn't say
No,
that.
I haven't seen it, and you've made me see. Remember, the history is that you made me see the worst Doctor, then you made me see the worst episode by the best Doctor, then you made me see the shittest episode.
We did
from...
mention when we did Orphan 55, we're like, fuck, why didn't we invite
Yeah,
Beck
Beck,
Buckingham to
Yeah,
this
this
episode?
one's an absolute stinker. Let's get Beck on board.
The problem with the episodes in Series 12 is we don't know which ones are shit before they come out.
Yeah. But when we do a review, you're in.
Yes.
You're in for Orphan 55. I'm not going to be there. I'm not watching it again.
Ryan also gets a bit of a catch-up with his old mate Tibbo, literally his now very old mate Tibbo, who tells Ryan they waited for him their entire lives.
Yeah, it's...
So his worry is that the world is going to end up like Orphan 55.
Yeah, I guess so, but I think it's also that he's being left behind. Is it? I mean, he is young. I'm thinking, oh God, who would give
He's
a
older than he looks.
yeah, I know, but in the show he's young.
Yeah.
And I would thinking, you probably won't know Tebow in 10 years. You know how many people that you just don't hang out with after...
Oh, they'll be
you know.
Facebook friends and they'll just like everything.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah,
like,
you
oh, we
know.
should catch up. Sure.
Yeah, don't stop traveling the Doctor just for a mate. I would barely do it for my kids and husband.
Jesus.
It's true. She's
Don't
very
worry,
shallow.
Adam will keep David entertained while you're out traveling.
Yeah, I'm very shallow and I am
True that.
a moth killer.
Your nightmare, you have a finger in your ear, you wake up and be like, well, what's happening? Oh, you've stopped traveling with the Doctor and now you spend your lives with me and David and... No!
Oh, God, you people.
Doing a weekly Doctor Who podcast.
Oh, God! This whole podcast
The
has been
horror.
your nightmare. When I stuck my finger in your ear, I did not think it would lead to this.
No. Well, I was the one who said, let's experiment, and no.
Yaz has the same dream, but this time Sonia tells her no one is coming to save her.
Yeah, that's really... I still was lost. I was still lost.
Yeah, I didn't
Then
know.
I realised, okay, it's probably Yaz who's had a near-death experience, maybe? I don't know. It really did lose me. I'm glad that it explained it because it was
Yeah.
starting to shit me.
Finally, Graham's nightmare is about his cancer coming back, and who worse to deliver the news to him than Grace, who doesn't remember their time together.
Oh, that is so
Heartbreaking.
sad. And then she says, "Why didn't you save
Yes.
me?"
Which is a question we've asked on this podcast before. How come
Oh.
he's never said, and we can see his subconscious being like, how come you didn't save her?
Yeah, I found that one the worst,
Yeah.
actually, because
Yeah.
I was already had the background story of Grace and, the cancer and stuff. So, yeah. Oof.
As the Doctor uses the Sonic and the TARDIS to compute the needed code to unlock the prison, she is introduced to Zelen, a mythical name considered a god.
Mm-hmm.
Zelen has been extracting nightmares from humans and transmitting them to the woman in the prison, which has just opened and released its prisoner.
Oh, God.
As the prison opens, Zelen tells the Doctor that she isn't my prisoner. She's my immortal, as Evanescence starts playing in the background.
Oh.
Yeah, let's start the morning off depressing, eh?
Yeah. My immortal.
That's not the right song.
No, I know, but my immortal.
Same album.
Yeah,
wrong
same
song.
album, yeah. A lovely animated section tells their story. Wasn't that nice?
I did actually
So like
like
an
that.
indie movie.
It felt like, what was the last Harry Potter movie where they're explaining, or is it the second last, where they're explaining the Deathly Hallows?
Oh, Harry Potter and the old guy who fingers your ears?
Yeah. And the moth.
Dumbledore's called in his spare time.
No, I liked it. I thought it was really good. And
Yeah.
well, no one complained about that because after I watch it, I get out and read the reviews. And
We really shouldn't.
oh, well, only because I'm always, just absolutely flabbergasted by the people. Oh, it's a piece of shit, and I don't like it. And I'm going, which episode were they watching? These are the not my doctor people who just
The annoying
don't
thing
want
is
it to be
how
a
many
woman.
people were like, oh, another woke episode.
Oh,
And it's like, fuck, mental health is a real problem, guys.
well, the other thing is that it wasn't until the end that I went, oh, okay, that was about mental health. There was not one point where I went, oh my God, it's about mental health and can you hear me?
But I always thought those people who use woke as like, oh my god, woke is like an insult. They usually use it for like climate change and things like that where it's like, oh, well, I don't believe that, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, doesn't everyone agree that mental health is like a serious issue and we all need to, I know there's a very few people who are like, oh, well, I'm totally fine, so everyone should be totally fine. Like, oh, fucking great, mate. But people go through real issues, whether it's, some days it's just fucking too much for you to handle to like, oh, fuck, I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
Like but I think we all agree mental health is a real issue and we need to deal with it.
Absolutely. But they're also saying what? Doctor Who's the only show? I've seen it tackled on Star Trek with different characters.
Doctor Who has tackled it as well.
Yeah.
He tackled it, and this week everybody has been showing clips from Vincent and the Doctor.
My God, it was
exact
really
same
big
thing.
then.
Like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
And I thought to myself, oh, how fucking woke is that?
Yeah.
I loved Vincent and the Doctor. I
yeah.
could watch that 100 billion times.
Oh, okay. Well, that's going to be the rest of our episodes.
That's the new offshoot podcast.
Yes, it is.
Vincent and the Doctor, we watch it every week and we talk about it again.
Again and again and,
And I
again
see
until
how
everyone
many-
loses the will to
I
live.
see how many rude things I can bring out of it.
Quite a lot knowing you.
Yeah.
Zelen and Rakea are from another realm. They entered our dimension and were revered as gods by two separate planets. The gods decided to see who could inflict the most pain upon their planet, leading to the planets fighting internally and eventually fighting each other. However, the inhabitants realized what their gods were doing, and they laid a trap with a prison in between two colliding planets to trap the most powerful of the two gods.
You think about you've got all of eternity to play with, right? You're never going to die. And you are more powerful than any other species in that you can travel through time, space in a second. You would eventually get bored, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
You would start knocking off moths, and this is...
Is
and
this
this
your
is
way
my
of telling us
telling
that you're
you
immortal?
I'm an eternal.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wondered why you started pulling my limbs off.
It was an interesting way to introduce us to it by boring the crap out of us with your bloody moth story.
That is not a boring story.
Oh, sweetheart, I beg to differ.
There are a lot of moths.
I don't want you to restart on the moths, okay? Let's just move forward. Nicchia, no. Adam, please.
What am I watching?
Yeah. It's okay, Nicchia.
Moths are great.
Look, some of her best friends are moths, okay? So it's totally
Yeah.
fine.
That's
totally
right. That's right. I just not like I hate all of them.
So your friendships last for 5 days. Not a second
Yeah, that's
more.
about average.
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, but you know that way
Shovel was a puddle.
you don't have to write to them, ever visit them again. You know, it's
You and I don't. What do you mean you
Yeah.
don't have to write to them? How
Hey.
old are you? Who's writing?
fine. Dearest moth, I write to you.
To my
I hope this
darling
letter
moth.
finds you well.
I write to my friends.
really.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I've been listening to too many Jane Austen audiobooks lately. Oh, well, I've been
God,
driving.
help me. Who are you?
Well, I'm tolerably pleasant.
This moth is Mr. Darcy.
been to
This
this
moth is
version.
Emma. This moth is another character from
Oh, I'm
those
so
movies.
even that movie, Emma, by the way. But anyway, you thought the moths were boring. You wait till I tell you about my Jane Austen obsession.
God.
That's
Yay.
another podcast. Yeah.
The Doctor has also been captured. Zelen has been feeding Rakaya nightmares to keep her sane during her imprisonment. They head to Earth, leaving the Doctor to get fingered.
Good a reason
That
as any,
really
I say.
doesn't sound good, knowing the Doctor's a female.
Well, that's all right. Everybody was getting fingered at the same
exactly
time.
right, yeah.
So it was
I
like,
wasn't sure about that joke, but then being Tim posted on Twitter
Yeah.
this morning the same
Yeah.
thing, so...
yeah. It
Oh,
was,
so you stole it from being Tim.
No, I had already written it before
Yeah, mhm,
he put it
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Yep, yep.
I said, I wonder how
Have-
Rebecca's going to react, and you didn't do oh my god.
yeah, that's what we were expecting. 'Cause
Oh my god.
God, it's too early.
there was
Oh my
a, there was
God.
there was a mass fingering going on.
Is that what you call an orgy?
Yeah.
In the
Mass
street.
fingering.
No, I call it digital penetration.
Who did the crime? All of them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a mass fingering.
Where's the digital part of it, though?
Well,
Where?
Fingers.
Your
Fingers.
digits. Your fingers are your digits.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
not
get
like
it
I'm
now.
sticking a digital clock or
Yeah,
anything.
I know.
It's like fingers.
That would
It's
be...
a virtual finger.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's an actual finger. It's not virtual, baby.
Where's that VR game?
I just have to tell you that in all the
Oh.
time that I've watched Doctor Who,
If
there
this
was
is
a
about moths again, here we go.
All
Let's
the
settle
time
in, everyone.
I've watched Doctor Who. I never thought that I would say the word fingering in reference to Doctor Who.
And so many
there you go.
times.
I know. Well, it's such a naughty word.
Wait, which would have been more creepy? His fingers detaching or his toes detaching? Then she gets a good towing.
Oh, yeah, you
Like
don't-
his big toe, just like, and it's got a crusty
And
nail.
they tend to be a bit more difficult to pop in a canal, an
Are you
ear canal.
sprecketing
Oh,
as
wow.
well?
Yeah,
Are you
okay.
sprecketing from experience?
Oh, yeah.
Also, it's not quite as, you've got to, it's undignified. You've got to stick one leg up so everyone can see your toes coming.
Well, you got to be barefoot. Then they come off, and you could
Yeah.
lose your centre of balance and tip over, and that makes you,
You know,
look less.
athlete's foot, you know.
Yeah, tinny.
You stick your left leg up, you
Plantar
stick your
fasciitis.
feet in, and then you swirl it all about.
The guys are already wearing a muumuu, so we could have got a glimpse of things.
That's what I was singing. The Doctor dreams of the timeless child, a young female child with dark or tan skin, standing in front of a strange stone structure.
This timeless child is quite the mystery.
The last episode is called The
Have
Timeless
you read
Children.
about it?
When I was researching this episode and someone was talking about the flash of the timeless child, and then I went down a wormhole and then I started looking up the timeless child, and I get the whole, there's all of these theories, and that's one of those mysteries that you're
It's a
yet
newbie.
to understand. But I read some of the theories of who the timeless child is and what the timeless child has done.
Someone thinks it's because we got introduced to a brand new doctor that no one saw coming, who's from the doctor's past. Some are saying that she's the timeless child.
I reckon it's either the fugitive Doctor or Yaz.
Didn't that timeline just die?
Yes.
No, they'll bring it back.
I'm sure they'll bring it back, but then they just brought it in and then they're just like, oh yeah, let's just go have random adventures again. Woo.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's good. You don't want it all, explained straight away. You want to have a few.
Imagine if that happened in real life, though. Something major like that happened to you, and then just the next week you're just back at work doing...
They're like, hey, look at this. You're like, I fucking met myself from the future or my past. I don't know who the fuck it is.
I'm not going back to fucking admin. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
Hey, welcome to the world of daytime soap.
Yeah.
People can get beheaded in daytime soaps and come back.
Exactly.
Wow, what sort of shows are you watching? Is this on a deep web?
Just get their head,
Frankenstein on Days
Yeah.
of Our
Yeah.
Lives.
get their head stitched back on.
Well, let me tell you, Gary, we've got your head right here, and he wants to speak to you.
Hi, Gary. How's it going?
Oh, I haven't seen you in a while.
Looking forward to being reattached.
Not happy.
Have you got a haircut?
I told you I don't like it like that. Oh, shut up. You weren't here.
The doctor wakes from her nightmare, even though no one else does.
But that's because she's the doctor with like
Okay,
all those
all right.
Time Lord brains. I have to
That's
slap
how you
you
explain
later.
everything. She's the
Yeah.
doctor.
She manages to grab her sonic screwdriver and release everyone and pull the fingers from their ears.
Oh my God, how she got that sonic screwdriver from that pocket. Hello, I loved it, but hello, it was terrible.
Imagine if she dropped it, she's like, well, we're all fucked.
Yeah, exactly. This, and then suddenly that was really bad camera work. Anywho.
Yeah, it looked like she had dropped it and then
Yeah.
they reversed it.
Yeah, it looked very 1970s, 80s. So it was really...
Except for like a visible string on
Yeah,
it, like
yeah, yeah.
picking it up out of
And
her
the
pocket.
Sonic just kind of like hovers there for a second as it like swings around.
Swings around and she tries to get a grip on it.
Like in the long game where they take the key out of Adam's pocket and it kind of like hangs around and it's obviously on a string.
Oh,
You're like,
it's
oh,
Bit of fishing
jeez.
line.
Well, I know I was trying to think in that terrible episode that we made you watch with us, which
God,
is
which one?
which actually is one of my favourite podcasts, the Cyberman one with
Oh,
Harry.
Oh, the
yes.
Revenge of the
Yeah,
Cybermen.
there are a few things like that were
Oh, the Cybermats.
the Cybermats.
Where they just fly off the floor
Yeah.
and then you'd have to, the actors were holding onto them,
Yeah.
like gripping them
thing
against
is,
their necks.
They couldn't even be asked with string. Somebody just threw it at them, and then you had to hold
Pegged it at their
Like,
face
can
out
we
of-
have string? Not in the budget, buddy.
No, Daryl's just going to be off screen and throw it at
Yeah,
you.
that's what they want these days, is they want more of that, baby.
Yeah. Oh no, that was funny.
The doctor realizes she can now control the fingers with her sonic, making them the creepiest drones ever.
Oh yes, I
Sit
did
boy.
Not like them.
Sit boy, yeah.
One of the criticisms was that the story's wrapped up too quickly and the science is done too quickly. I guess for me, I was fine with that because it was secondary to what I was interested in all the other stuff that was kind of going on around it, how they were having the nightmares and that sort of stuff. So even me, I'm thinking, oh God, don't drag this out. Get them fixed so we can get on and find out what's going on with Yaz, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. How did everyone else feel? Did it feel too quick for you?
Felt alright, yeah.
I thought they had to dignify the story by wrapping it up for the other characters. So, and I think, and I am not ashamed to say, I cried. I cried in this episode with the Yaz when she went to see the policewoman. And I get goosebumps now. I cried then, and I thought that is the mark of a really that's really good writing, that you elicit a response from people, whether that be, anger, annoyance or whatever. And I was very touched by
I'm
that.
surprised
I
that
was.
Zelen doesn't take us Sonia, because Sonia's not in the spaceship. Graham's mates aren't on the spaceship. It's just Tibbo.
I don't know.
Ah.
Maybe you have to be a bit prone to depression to be picked.
Oh, maybe.
Don't know.
So which one of us in this room?
All of us.
We're all going to Zelen's.
The doctor works out why the monsters can't hurt Tahira. The Churrascos, the Churunga, the Chagascus
Oh my God, yeah.
are Tahira's nightmares. She created them.
Oh, so they're not real.
They're not real.
Oh, wow.
Oh, every time you clap
That's
your
why
hands,
we went to Aleppo.
Chagascus gets its wings. I don't know.
Oh.
They always say, like, your imagination will create scarier things than if you're shown something. Like a really good horror film alludes to things. I think if they'd just left all we saw of those creatures with those dirty great claws, that would have been, like, that was chilling.
Yeah.
And then when you see this CGI sort of, half marmoset, half three-toed sloth spider monkey, you go, oh.
Kind of reminded me of the CGI from the werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of looked like something from Labyrinth or something. I don't know.
Definitely not Bowie Bulge.
I just recently rewatched Labyrinth, but
Oh, I love that movie.
yeah.
Although it does have that weird bit in the middle where it's like the fire monsters and they're throwing heads around.
Yeah.
And we watched that like last year sometime. My brother and I looked at each other and went, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's a lot darker than I remember.
Yeah.
And,
Trippy.
trippy. Woo!
Well, I mean, it does start where a girl wants to get rid of her brother.
Yes, that's true.
And falls in love with David Bowie.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
but,
yeah.
you know, everyone falls in love with David Bowie.
Yeah, but she's like 12.
With the Bowie bulge, you know.
She looks 12. It's a bit creepy. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. I think they could have... They don't need to shove it in our face with the monsters. I mean, it really... Yeah, the hands were scary than anything.
And it almost would have been better for the story to not, like, just to have that element of creepiness with the claws instead of having to, you know, see the whole thing.
Although when they were trapped and the face looked like the alien monster, quite liked that.
Oh, that was, when it came out.
Yeah.
So basically all of the prop stuff we like and not the CGI.
Yeah.
On Earth, Rakaya tells Ellen if they take it slow, it can last a lifetime.
Oh.
Sure, but do you know how tiring it is?
Oh,
Fucking hell,
no.
Jesus, really takes it out of your calves.
You know, I mean, I'm gonna need to stop for lunch or something.
I
At
need
some
a drink.
I didn't know if
Yeah.
they were going to smooch or something at that point. You know, when he got right up in her face and said, it was like, oh, what's about to happen here?
I don't think Eternals do that.
Wouldn't you, though? Like, if you're eternal and you're bored shitless.
Yeah, but would you have done it a billion times? You know,
Yeah, but then you'd be
been
super
married.
good at it, so you'd be, like, showing off. Look at this. Come on, look at these
Wouldn't
five.
you be like, you know, you'd get your two moths and you put them together and...
Please, God,
And
make it end.
Then it gets on your toothbrush, and then you've got to make that fatal decision of
To
do
use
you
it.
catch? No, oh no, fuck, you still use that.
Yeah.
Do you catch the moth, or do you...
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm really just doing this to shit back now.
What the fuck is going on?
Mission accomplished.
They are interrupted by the call of the...
Excuse me, is there a superhero called the Moth?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think there is.
Yeah, a slow, fat superhero that bores the crap out of everybody.
And is sexually attracted to my light. All right, let's go.
They are interrupted by the call of the Chigascus, which Rakaya wants to see. So many words in this. So they head to 1380 Aleppo, even though they have one on their ship in the future. Who knows why?
Maybe that one is
Dead.
No, they can't get it out of the glass.
Or maybe that's, I don't know, maybe they take
they
it off the ship. I don't
Spent so much money on the props for bloody 1380
know. Yeah, they
Aleppo,
might as well
had
go
to
back to
sit
that,
there,
to that set.
Because
Yeah.
it was a good set.
yeah, just bang out a bit more action.
I did like that. Yeah. All right. No, I can deal with that. I can deal with that.
The Doctor confronts the Immortals, and Tahira shows how she conquered her fear by sicking the Chigascus on them. The Doctor sticks Zelen fingers in their ears and transports them to the prison ball before clearing out the TARDIS jacuzzi by returning everyone.
What did you think of the Doctor's speech?
Oh,
What's
about
great
humans.
about
Yeah,
humans is that
Yeah, it's all right.
they may be scared and they may be full of self-doubt, but they keep going. I thought that was lovely. I really liked that.
I mean, I just give up, but, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other people who actually
Who
keep
you
going.
battle on and try a bit harder.
Yeah, I'm just every morning waking up going, oh, fuck, not in a coma yet. Damn it. Damn it.
I wake up every morning to go to work and I'm like, don't worry, you can get through today. As if, like, you know, as if I'm going to face some giant thing. And it's just like, fuck, I just have to deal with people all day.
People are terrifying.
People are
As-
peaks.
I
I've
re-
often said that.
I relate
Yeah.
with Sonia, who goes, people are stupid and they don't like being told that.
I can imagine you saying that to
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
You're
I did not-
stupid.
I did not do well in customer service either.
No,
You're stupid.
I don't
You're stupid.
think I would. But actually, I
Would
No,
like...
you-
you'd be
what?
You'd both be accidentally honest.
Yeah, that's my problem.
I'd be
I don't mean
purposefully honest.
Hi, welcome to a
See-
new podcast. Accidentally honest.
See, I'm a delicate Cancerian
Yes,
Oh
yes.
God.
and a lapsed Catholic.
And I have probably at some point upset Beck and just not been aware
Oh,
of
she
it.
has.
And
True dat.
luckily for Beck, I just don't get it when people are actually trying to upset me. So
I know. I often think that I think, oh God, is what I've said offended Nicchia? And then I go, I could say anything. Nothing offends her. So then I just go for it. And
I
I
love
just
that we
say
record
shit.
every week, but you don't care if you've offended me or not. You're just like, man,
Oh no, she doesn't. Oh mate.
Well, no, because I just know what my intention is. So if my intention was to offend you, I'd be worried. But because it was never my intention, I just assume you know that.
oh, I just assume your attention is bring a bird.
No,
And I'm just sitting in a corner.
no, that's my personality.
Who allowed
being
you
a
to speak?
bitch. Yeah.
All right, stop now.
I am a moth.
Okay, let's continue.
I assume Tahira gets returned to Aleppo in 1380, where 20 years later the city would be captured by the Turco-Mongol army under Tamburlaine, who ordered the massacre of the inhabitants and a tower to be built outside the city made of 20,000 skulls.
Yes, things
Super fun ending.
things took
Good luck, Tahira. Hope you get over those nightmares.
Ciao for now.
Hope your skull's right near a window with a view.
Get out before 20 years. Oh yeah, people were fighting over Aleppo for centuries.
Well,
They still are.
Things took a little turn for the worst, but, still a bit of a hot spot. Whose foot I'm playing with? Oh, no. I thought I was playing with someone's foot, but it was my own.
Oh, God. Oh, I hate when that happens.
She's dead from the waist down.
It's the only sex life I have these days. It's playing with my own foot.
Just the one leg.
It's the toes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the hands that...
Detachable.
The fingers. Yeah, the fingers.
I can't wait to get the
toes.
mannequin so I could play with someone else's foot for a while. Just detach it and then just play with it.
I just heard squeak, squeak, squeak.
Squeak, 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 squeak,
Oh, God. I'm astral projecting myself to Jupiter right now.
Oh, how
Not
is
Uranus?
No, Jupiter.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm a 12-year-old boy.
That's it, in the podcast there.
Or Uranus, as people say, because they don't want to titter.
NASA.
You said tit.
I did say tit.
Oh.
Back on Earth, Tibbo tells Ryan he needs his best mate back, and Ryan organises a therapy session for him so he has people to talk to about his dark and lonely thoughts.
I thought that was really good. And also that story that you go all the way down there to talk to someone and you're stuck with self-service.
I love the self-service
There's
because
no
I
one
don't
to-
have to fucking talk to
Yeah.
someone.
But if you're
me.
desperately looking
Yeah,
for
yeah.
someone to talk to, who do you talk to?
You'd look like a crazy person.
Look, my advice to Tibbo, if he wants people to talk to about his dark and lonely thoughts, just start a podcast. It's way cheaper, guys.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Dark and lonely thoughts about Doctor
Now, one
Who.
of the guys
Hello,
in
darkness, my old friend.
session looked a bit like Ryan's dad, I thought.
Oh.
The guy with the old guy with the beard.
Oh, I didn't.
Or
didn't
did I
check.
just-
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just wondering what happened to Ryan's dad. He dropped off the planet.
Go talk to my dad about how depressed you are.
Yes, I thought that was good that he went and talked to a group.
Yeah, I thought it was good to show him actually. Like, I like the fact that when they defeated the monster, it wasn't like, there you go, Tibbo, you're all good.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
I like it was like, okay, well, now we actually have to deal with the other issue
Yeah.
that was giving you those dark nightmares at the start.
Yeah, and I think, Ryan was one who knew how to deal with it or how
Mm.
to help someone deal with it because he's probably been there himself.
And I like the fact that they showed the relationship with Tibbo and Ryan, and they trust each other. They're not like big blokey blokes who are
Yeah.
like, they don't talk about their feelings.
Yeah.
Tibbo actually went, mate, I'm actually not, he trusts Ryan enough to
Yeah.
go, mate, I'm actually not doing well.
Yeah.
And Ryan goes, okay, well, here's a therapy session. Talk. And they showed him going and talking to people because there's a real stigma around, I've got
Yeah.
to be a blokey bloke, I can't have emotions, blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's right. They didn't just talk about sport and
Yeah.
then when he left, the guy stuck his head in an oven. I think that
Yeah.
is good.
And the other guy goes, mate, it's not just you. Like, we all have these thoughts,
Yeah.
we all have these
Yeah.
feelings. And for the first time, Tibbo goes, oh, fuck, like,
Yeah.
I'm not a freak. I'm not a weirdo.
Yeah.
Other people do experience this as well.
I like that.
Yeah, I
like
thought
that.
it was really good.
I did too.
We flash back to 3 years previous where Yaz is sitting on the side of the road. Police car turns up and a police officer from Yaz's dreams sits with her. Yaz has run away from home and her sister Sonia called the police to try and find her. Yaz is being bullied at school and feels lost. The copper tries to help her, but no young person wants to listen to someone with experience.
I liked that.
Yeah. The copper tells her, I know that there's so much ahead of you, and how much do you want to bet that this is like an older Yaz come back in time to help herself? That's what I
Really?
got. That's what I thought. I
Really?
thought when she goes, I know, I've been where you've been, I know that there's more ahead of you, and I was like, oh my god, are they going to reveal that this is like an older Yaz?
Well, isn't she a probationary police officer?
She
Yeah, she
is.
is.
This is the moment she became a police or decided
Yeah.
to become one.
It would be like Doctor Who to,
Yeah,
have
that's
a
true.
causality loop where she,
Ah, I like that.
helps herself,
Yeah. The thing I got from this was it wasn't when she said your sister's worried you're going to hurt yourself. That's when I went, oh, okay, this is not just I'm leaving and, I'm going to take my bat and ball and go home.
Yeah.
This was, I think that she's not coming back, in that I think she wants to end everything. So
Yeah.
without saying suicide, this is what I think.
And I feel
was
like
getting to that
she
point.
just needed to get out. She doesn't know what she wants to do. Like, she hasn't fully decided, oh, I'm going to go end it. But she's kind of like, well, I can't be here anymore. I need to find something. So, like, she could have traveled for a couple of years and then maybe decided, okay, well, things are shit. But I think she was at that precipice of, I don't know what to do. I just need to leave.
Yeah, I just want the pain to end.
Yeah, and she realizes, because her sister Sonia calls the police, fuck, my sister actually does give a shit, you know?
I think that's nice too.
The copper named Anita Patel offers Yaz a deal. In 3 years' time, if Yaz feels the same way, she'll give her £50. But if things get better, Yaz has to give her 50p. And in the present, Yaz has tracked down Anita and gives her the 50p.
Oh, I've got goosebumps again.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I loved that. And
liked
she
it,
goes, she goes, I flip and do remember you.
I flip and do remember, yeah.
I just thought that was so nice. It was probably around that time, probably when Tebow was having his discussion. I wanted to call him TiVo the whole time.
I wanted to call him Tybalt the whole time.
That I thought, oh, this is a story about mental health. It didn't really occur to me until about then. And so, I thought it was beautifully handled. And
like, it sucked me in because, like,
me too.
you know, because Yaz has been so strong, and then you go,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, she went through some shit, you know, like, they mentioned that she was bullied, but then fuck, like, half the characters on TV go, oh, I was bullied, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No one ever goes, like, I was bullied and I'm a fucking wreck for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, some
and-
people
and-
are, but yeah.
Yeah, well, if it starts with everybody having their own personal nightmares,
Yeah.
and the end is that everyone's personal nightmare is, you know, this loneliness or depression, or that it was a very compelling thing to say that's like to be able to push home how devastating those things can be to us as individuals, that these are our personal nightmares, and that, you know, at the end that you can see that there are ways to try and come back from that, and those ways are very varied and different. And I think that's why, in particular, you know, going back to the start with the doctor, why there was criticism about how she handled that conversation, that it's like, don't wrap this whole thing up in a nice little bow and everything's awesome, because that's actually a bad message as well.
Yeah.
Because people will walk away going, oh, everybody solved all of their problems and everything's terrific, and I'm still a big loser because I don't know how to solve those problems. So I think there had to be a flaw in the episode, as in that, you know, how people handle those things.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think, you know, and Graham knew from the look on his face, she cares. She doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, that was enough for him. But
Well, look at his reaction.
Yeah.
Like, if how he reacted to what she did is the important thing.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
what she said, but how he reacted to it. And that's what he wanted.
yeah, he wanted
He
to
wanted
say it, I
her
think.
to just be her normal self
Yeah.
and be awkward and
Yeah.
I don't know what to do, and that's what he wanted. And that's, you know, people can't lose sight of the fact that that was the important thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it's one of those things that afterwards, Dave and I were talking about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And how when we were growing up, no one talked about that. I thought everybody knew what they were doing, and I
So
was
did
the
I, yeah.
only
So
one
did I.
who didn't. You know, and how many times in your life, no matter what it was, did you expect someone to stand up and go, hey, you know, bullshit, you
Yeah.
know, nothing, get out, get
Every
out.
job I've ever had,
Yeah.
even when I had children, you wait for someone to come up and go, oh, there's been a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be having those children or doing that job, or
Yeah.
we thought you were someone else.
Yeah.
I remember growing up thinking, oh, doctors, you go to the doctor, they tell you what's wrong with you, and then finally realizing at one point, like, oh, fuck, the GP just goes, could be this. And then they go, and then they find, oh, no, well, maybe it's this then. And
Yeah.
they're just fucking stumbling around.
Yeah.
You
They're
know,
not magical.
Like, oh, you know.
But so is everyone. So are your parents.
So it's only by having the conversations out loud
Yeah.
that you uncover
And that's
that.
why we need to talk about these sort of things. And so you realize, oh, fuck, I'm not the only person. I spent my entire, I thought when I would grow up, I'm going to understand everything. I would literally refer to it as the manual of life. How come everyone else gets the manual of life and I don't fucking know what I'm doing? You know, and it's like, oh, fuck, no one knows what they're doing.
In fact, the people who think they know what they're doing and never question it
Yeah.
are psychopaths,
Yeah.
narcissists, or people with personality disorders, they scare the crap out of me. I'd much rather someone who is fallible.
Although the flip side of that is when I was at primary school, I was fairly confident there were a couple of teachers that didn't like me, but I knew that was ridiculous because it's their job to like all the kids. And then I got a bit older and I went, fuck.
Yeah.
They genuinely didn't like me.
Yeah.
I didn't like them, but why didn't they like me?
I know. Well, as I always say, I don't expect everyone to like me, but I'm always shocked when they don't.
I know. I'm an absolute asshole and I don't like you, but when you don't like me, I simply don't understand.
I spent my first 30 years trying to make sure everyone liked me. If someone didn't like me, it was like, fuck, what have I done wrong? You know, and I'd try and put my efforts into making it, and then eventually it's like, fuck it, who gives a fuck?
Well, I realise that people aren't going to like me, but I think I'm a person who leads with, I call it...
Hi, I'm Nicchia. You might not like me. All right, thank you very
I
much.
suck, and not in a good way.
I try to lead with kindness, I suppose, because that's how I want to be treated.
It's not my experience.
Yeah. Well, not you.
When are you going to start
No, not
leading with
me.
kindness?
You and the moth have had a different perspective.
Jesus. Hi, welcome to
Although we both have landed on your toothbrush.
Hi, welcome to the Mothcast. All moths all the time.
Oh, dear.
And
dear.
Ryan and Yaz have a little conversation about, their life on the TARDIS.
I think Ryan's going.
I think Ryan's going too. We do know that Tosin Cole has booked a Netflix series.
And he's the main
in America.
star.
He's the main star. And Doctor Who films for about 9 months of the year.
Yeah.
So, and he's also booked a couple of festival things as well.
Yeah.
Convention things.
And
the others haven't.
his character
So-
has had the biggest journey, I think.
Yeah.
He's much more confident, much more knows who he is. And so, he's had his... he's really growing. So if he leaves, that'll be fine. But
and it's
I'll miss
suspected-
him.
But it's suspected that Graham's going to stay because at one point Bradley Walsh put on his online CV that he was in season 13. So he could be staying. So we don't know about Yaz.
I hope she stays because there's still more to learn about her.
Yeah, I really like Yaz.
Yeah. Now, what were you writing down there?
Moth.
Just moth.
Moths,
moth
yeah.
shit.
Look up moths
Just moth related.
to connect with Nicchia.
That I can, so I can connect with you later. I can talk about like silkworm moths and like daytime moths. And
Well,
nighttime
I
moths.
from now on will be leading with kindness to you.
Oh, look forward to that with breathless anticipation.
Gonna make you sick.
Already
All right,
does.
that's it.
Did you have any other things you wanted to add beforehand?
I think so as I've said before, everything you've made me watch to date has been a shit doctor or a shit episode or shit characters. And
Yep.
then when I get the episode that we're watching this week and I go to look for it and I realise it's 2 days old by the time so it is cutting edge.
Yes,
that's
cutting
correct,
edge.
yeah.
That's what we've done.
And so I've been treated in the past. There's been like velvet knickerbockers. There's been cornrow plaiting. There's been
French horns.
just French horns. There's been caves. There's been cybermats. All that sort of stuff. And all of a sudden now I'm dragged, kicking and screaming, into the future. There was animation. There was pathos. There was sets.
There was budget.
There was budget. There was a female doctor. And I think, to me, anything that normalises mental health issues so that I could actually see that there is this message in it, I really enjoyed it. And as I said, if you can make me either cry laughing or cry because you've touched me, I think that speaks to the level of skill involved. So I have to say 4 stars.
Ooh.
From me.
And one thing I didn't mention was that they actually liaised with a mental health charity called Mind. So
did
8 months
they?
8 months before the episode aired, they sent them a copy of the script. They said, "Can you help us make sure that we're dealing with this issue correctly?" And they went through, made sure they weren't using, idolizing that sort of behavior and wrapping things up in a neat bow and not using language that was, degrading and that sort of. So yeah, I really appreciate that effort put into that, and it really shows that they do care about the subject, and they're not just like, we're just going to be woke like everyone thinks we are.
Let's jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
I think so.
And Doctor Who has done it before. So, Nicchia.
Well, I loved it. I really liked it. I still don't understand the people who who had the bad reviews. I went on the journey, enjoyed it. I didn't realize it was about mental health until right at the end when I realized that was the running theme. I was attached to all the characters, And I think the fact that the doctor at the end didn't know what to do, for me, made it even more realistic, because I've met people who don't know what to say or do in those situations. And I just thought it was, besides Orphan 55, I've really been enjoying this season. And it's a 4 from me as well, definitely.
Beck Tech, what would you give this episode?
I would give it 3.5.
She's a tough marker, this woman. Okay.
I know.
You are.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think it was really visually appealing. It was a really nice episode. As somebody who does already suffer from nightmares, I was just like, ooh, tough one for me. But yeah, there was a few plot points where I was just like, oh, they could have gone a different way, like how the police officer was just a woman that was, I thought the whole point was somebody had died. I was just like, it took me on a different direction than what I was expecting. It wasn't bad. I was just like, they could have like explained it a little bit more as they went along the episode. It was just like, oh, is that where that went? Okay. But yeah, the episode was pretty good. I really liked it.
So 3.5.
One thing, sorry, just to go back.
Yeah.
When the Eternals came to Earth and there was the mother saying goodnight to her child, and there's no such thing as bogeymen, and then she leaves, and then old mate
He's
comes
like,
out of the
"That's not
shadows.
true."
And it's like, if I was a kid, I'd shit myself because now I can't. The subliminal message is, don't trust your mother.
Yes. I never did. She told me if I grew my hair long and pull my brains out, and I found out that's not
Jesus.
true. She just didn't want to brush it.
And suddenly all the pieces fall into place.
You did all that experimentation.
And then I went, hang on.
She tried cornrow plaiting.
My brains didn't fall out.
They weren't there to begin with.
Ah,
See, nothing offends me.
Well, then wouldn't the mother also be having nightmares as well? She's like, fuck.
well, she wasn't there. She'd left.
Yeah, but she would
Yeah,
also
she went
be
down to
going-
the pub.
Yeah.
She's at the
She
po-
was rat-faced.
She was at the
fuck, my
pokies.
daughter asked me about the bogeyman again.
God.
Jesus
Bogey,
Christ.
schmokey.
I actually thought that was what the character was going to be, the boogeyman.
Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're an Eternal, you could spend a bit of time being the boogeyman. You could do what you like. We'd be so boring, wouldn't it? If you just there was no end in sight ever.
I would love it. I'd
You
find
would.
stuff to do.
Everyone you know would just disappear. Ugh.
Oh, they're all going to disappear anyway. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed this episode as well. I'm going to give it a 4.
Ooh.
I think it's a very strong message. I like the creepiness of the, sticking fingers in people's ears. That is very creepy, and it kind of works with the, the gods, and I like the message, and I like getting some more story about Yaz,
Oh, me too.
and feeling like the closest the Doctor Who has gotten to talking about mental health since Vincent and the Doctor, which was, very interesting. And I remember, look, I don't want to get too dark, but, as someone who has depression myself, watching Vincent and the Doctor and them not showing a guy who just wants to go around being like, I'm going to kill myself, but he goes, he's all lovely and nice to Amy and the 11th Doctor, but then he goes back to his room and he bawls his eyes out.
Yeah.
And that's his form of depression. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, that really resonated with me. So, yeah, I really like when Doctor Who kind of deals with these things and doesn't shy away from, doesn't like make it like, it's all just a monster and it's all okay in the end, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So
It's
I like
actually
that
tried to move something forward. It hasn't just
Yeah.
sort of told a trite little story and then moved on.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
tried to move
like
something forward.
Tibbo's issue isn't just the fact that he's being haunted by these nightmares.
No.
He actually has issues that he needs to talk through. And
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that rather than being like, nope, he's fine, don't worry about him, see ya.
Well, and that's...
Which
you
is
know,
my parenting style.
Yeah. That my kids, I'm so depressed. Oh, hot
Yeah.
shower will help you out.
Yeah.
Nice hot shower.
Oh, I'm going
Glass
over
of
here.
water.
Glass of water. And,
Go wash your face.
our listeners really enjoyed this episode as well. Look, we've only got 7 people who voted so far, so
Oh,
maybe
we had less this time.
maybe putting it up on the Friday before we record. Maybe I should do it
yeah.
a bit earlier. But look, 5 people gave it 5, 2 people gave it 4, so that's an average score of 4.71 out of 5.
Yeah,
So.
no, it was worth it. I really, really enjoyed it. So last week's I gave 3.8 because David wouldn't let me give it 3.5 because he really enjoyed it. And at the end, when we watched it, I said, well, I'm giving it a 4. And he went, oh, yeah, 4.
Oh, yeah, baby.
4.
And what's my homework? Should I go home and watch, what is it, Orphan 55?
Oh, don't
Don't
do
watch it.
that.
Don't watch it.
No. Oh, yeah, now you're concerned about it. After all the crap you people have put me
No,
through.
you should go back and watch, what's the episode with,
Nikola Tesla.
no.
Fugitive of the Jadoon.
Fugitive of the Jadoon. Watch that. That was fantastic.
No, I want super crappy.
Oh, well, watch
Super
Orphan
crappy.
55.
Super crappy.
You can listen to our episode.
Super freak.
Come out for
super
our
freaking
Patreon
out. That and the series opener, it's a two-parter, Skyfall, really good as well.
Not interested.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it. We're one more episode and we're in the home stretch.
We are.
I suspect that the end of the next episode is probably going to lead into the two-parter.
Yes, and I don't think that we are going to be. I don't think by the end of this season we're going to know all the answers.
No, but I hope we get some answers. I hope we know, like the last episode called The Timeless Children, so I hope that we find out who the Timeless Children are. Like, solve one of the issues.
Yeah.
We can deal with Fugitive Doctor. If not at the end of the season, then later on, you know?
Yeah, I'm interested in this because it's got the Timeless Child has got to be more horrific than people are theorizing because it upset the Master.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something that would piss him off, not just the Doctor being the Timeless Child. I don't know. I mean, Rassilon was not a good guy anyway, so...
Hopefully the Master comes back.
Oh, I hope so. He was amazing. I loved him. The new guy's fantastic.
All right, thank you very much. Nicchia, anything to plug?
No. No, just my Facebook page, Nicchia Short Comedy. I've had people visiting. I don't put anything up, sorry. I will start doing that, but, at the moment I'm doing a bit of interstate travelling.
As always, you can follow Adam O'Sullivan Comedian on Facebook and visit thenerdinfinite.com.
Have we got a call out for our Patreon people?
We do. This is going to come out like months after they join, but we'd like to thank...
I think we should thank them every episode.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it'll change. Like, someone will join this month, and then like 3 months later, they'll be like, "Oh, there's my shout out." But yeah, we'd like to thank our 2 Patreon subscribers. You can definitely find us on Patreon. Look up D4WH Pod, and you will find us. And you can get episodes early if you chuck us a little money, and we'd love to have your support.
And they get minis.
And they get mini episodes in between the
We
normal
don't
episodes.
send them like mini skirts.
No, and they're not like mini
Or
M&Ms.
cars.
Yeah.
Mini
Yeah.
car.
Yes.
Mini coupes.
Mini mouse.
Or mini cars.
No, Dale,
And
we've
as
done
always,
that. Mini moths.
Mini moths.
Mini moths.
And we'd like to shout out to our Patreon subscribers, being Tim, who we seem to mention every episode.
That's because he's our bud.
He was our first major fan
Yeah.
and stuck with it through thick and thin, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like we know him now.
And Ezamon, who has just joined.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. We love you guys so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And Beck, do you have anything you would like to plug?
I would just like to say, as I always do, be kind to each other.
Aw.
I don't always say that. That's crap.
No, you
no,
never
I
say that.
just
What has
go and
happened?
do
Are you having a stroke?
You usually say things to me
Don't you
like,
wish?
fuck off.
Yeah, screw you, buddy.
Yeah.
No, I just say the mental health is, please never underestimate the importance of having a conversation with someone who you think is struggling.
Yes.
I would want someone to do that for me, and I would do that for someone. So look after each other.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. All right, thank you very much. Get the word out. Our item today, oh Jesus, is a coat hanger. And our location is an Ayers Rock. Get the word out. You might...
Uluru now.
Yeah, get the word out. You might be hanging out at Uluru looking up at that big, beautiful rock thinking, "Ah, yeah, it's my heritage. I'm going to climb it, mate." But you can't because, your girlfriend, who is a moth, she comes to you and she's like, "I'm pregnant with your moth.
I've
Your
got
moth
5 days to
babies."
live.
And you're like,
I
5
knew
days
it
to
was
live.
going there.
your moth babies, and you're like, "Well, love, here's this coat hanger. Let me hang up your
Oh.
coat. Let me hang up your coat for you, and we can sit down and discuss it." And you decide, "Look, I think I am ready for a half moth, half human baby." And you decide, "Hey, look, it's insensitive to climb Ayers Rock, Uluru," so you decide not to do that. And you decide the 2 of us were going to listen to an episode of D4WH.
Oh.
And you hear Nicchia getting made fun of because she loves moths.
I do.
So you never listen ever again.
Absolutely.
Until next time,
Absolutely.
keep searching the skies for the Doctor. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been a production of the Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?